If you were a bird, how far would you fly to chase a dream? Today's story is an ancient tale about a group of birds bound by one dream. Their dream was to find a mythical bird called Simorgh. What is this mythical bird, and why would other birds leave everything behind to find it? Before we begin the tale of Simorgh, let me tell you a little about the writer of this story. This story is written by Persian poet and philosopher by the name of Attar. Attar was living almost 9 centuries ago in Neyshabur. Neyshabur is a city in Khorasan province in Iran. The full name of Attar is Fariduddin Muhammad. His title is Attar. In Persian literature, most of poets have art name or title which is somehow related to their life. Attar means herbalist, perfumer, or a person who prepares and sells herbal medicine. Because before being famous for poetry, Attar was pharmacist and healer. Attar was one of the major influencers of Sufism. One of the most famous poems and stories written by Attar is about a legendary character called Simorgh. Simorgh is a mythical character which is very important in Persian literature. It appears in many famous Persian works such as Attar's poem and Shahnameh. Before starting the story of Simorgh, I'll dedicate one full episode to describe the character of Simorgh. Simorgh is a mythical and sacred bird. It's very large, with a head like a dog, a tail like a peacock, and wings like an eagle. Simorgh has all the feathers and colors of every bird in the world shining together in one magnificent creature. Simorgh is immortal, ancient, and symbol of divine wisdom. Simorgh is the highest flying mythical creature. Simorgh flies across the world and scatters the seeds of life. Simorgh is also known as the bird of heaven. Farsi word Simorgh can be broken into two parts, Si meaning Serdi and Morgh meaning bird. The idea of this great mythical bird has roots that go back to ancient Persian and Zoroastrian texts, including the Avesta. During the Avesta era, in the 11th century BC in Persia, the idea of an ancient sacred bird already existed. Let's move a little closer in history to the 6th century. During this time, images of this bird appear in artworks, metalworks, and architectural ornamentation. Much later, in the 10th century, the bird was named Simorgh and described in Persian epics. Now the question might be, what does Simorgh symbolizes? Simorgh is one of a kind and it's almost impossible to find and see. That's why in Sufism, Simorgh represents the highest and most sacred spirit. Some scholars believe that Simorgh represents Gabriel. Also, as I mentioned earlier, Simorgh is a very important character in Persian literature and it appears in many poems such as Shahnameh. Shahnameh is an ancient Persian epic poem. Simorgh is wise and knows all the secrets of the world. Furthermore, in Persian epic literature, Simorgh is often portrayed as guardian or helper of heroes. In Shahnameh, there are two types of Simorgh. One is divine and wise, helping heroes by protecting and healing them during the battles. The other has an evil dragon-like face and represents danger or destruction. Where is the home of Simorgh? Simorgh was believed to live in Qaf Mountain. Qaf Mountain is a legendary mountain which surrounds the world. In some ancient sources, Simorgh was believed to live on the Tree of Life. Tree of Life is a sacred cosmic tree in Persian mythology. It represents eternal life, divine wisdom, and the connection between heaven and earth. However, in Persian epic poems, Simorgh lives in Mount Damovan. Mount Damovan is the tallest mountain in Iran and the Middle East. Also, is the tallest volcano in Asia. Now we know about Simorgh, we can move on to the main story, the story of Conference of the Birds. The story of Simorgh is a journey toward understanding the meaning of the word, uncovering the secrets of the universe, and gaining a spiritual power. It teaches that whoever achieves self-awareness can reach a spiritual power or higher levels of existence. I will stop the story here and I will tell you the rest in the next episode. But before we wrap up, I have a question for you. If you were a bird, how far would you fly to find Simorgh?